Thanks. Right, so I'm here to present the European Parliament Free Software User Group, and the title of the talk we made to Everybody Needs a Hacker. And unfortunately, as you can see, I'm alone, and it says there should be 2 people here, and my friend Camilla couldn't make it today, so I'll take her part as well. Yeah. So something about us. Well, first me, I'm a supporter of the EPFSUG, European Parliament Free Software User Group. But in general, I'm active in a cluster called Telecomics, and a group called the Julia Group, and some other places, and have my own company called XValk doing, well, hosting and software development and such. And Camilla is a member of the group, and she's working for the Greens in the European Parliament. Yeah. So this talk will be kind of reversed. I'll begin with some interesting technical notes about the infrastructure in the European Parliament, and later I'll explain what EPFSUG is. So yeah, if it seems a bit opposite, then yeah, we did reversed order. So well, to begin with, the infrastructure in the European Parliament is, as probably most people would have guessed, completely proprietary. So everything runs on Microsoft infrastructure, Exchange, Outlook, Windows, the usual. And well, we have started this initiative to, well, encourage people to use free software and help them to do so. So first, as far as infrastructure goes, we have a project called the T-Mail, or Trattenmail. This is a sort of a bridge between Exchange and the Outlook Web Access Protocol and a server running free and open software using mostly Dovemail, Dovecut, and offline IMAP for two-way syncing. And the goal of this project is to well, let people that works in the European Parliament get access to their mail using any client they wish and through a server which is configured the way they want, because there's some parts of the common server which, well, doesn't fit everyone. And as far as client software goes in the Parliament, they're not allowed to install their own software, and that means they're all sitting with Outlook and Internet Explorer. So, well, that's a good motive for trying to help them, because, well, you want to help everyone that's stuck with Internet Explorer. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so here's some info about, well, some parts that I found interesting while working together with people in the European Parliament. Well, things that differ from what we used to. And first of all, their Exchange server has disabled all open protocols. We've kind of tried to find out why, and I have no idea why, but that's the case. So that means, that, well, that's the rationale for starting T-Mail. They've had retention rules for their inbox that kind of vary, so sometimes they lose mails from their inbox, and, well, there's too much bureaucracy to actually, at least for me, too much bureaucracy to try to change anything or understand it. From my part, I try to accept and, well, do the best from it. And as far as collaboration goes, they all use email for basically everything. And their system is kind of restrictive and, well, secure-ish, with the idea of they're not letting any mails through that use their domain and doesn't come from their mail service. Which means that all mailing lists get blocked, common ones. Because generally when an email list sends out an email, it sets the from field to the one who sent it. And that means that it ends up as spam, or actually not even spam, it gets deleted before reaching the inbox. So we made a small little, I don't know how many people here know about the % hack. Anyway, it's, yeah, okay, well, a few. So the % hack is, well, I think I gave it a slide of its own. Basically this, just appending an extra domain to the email address. So I do that 2 ways for the mailing lists that we run, and that means that, well, in the list they're subscribed at this longer email address, and it ends up back and forth in their inbox. And yeah, it's not a good way of doing it, but as I said, there's no easy way of changing the way the system works. So then this is another layer, which means collaboration with lots of people can be done much easier than just big CC or CC lists or something like that. Yeah, so here's a summary of some of the projects that run inside the, that we run for the European Parliament. First, I won't go into depth with this. You can find them fairly easily, and if nothing else, you can ask me afterwards. So ParlTrack is kind of a project for transparency and getting access to open data from the Parliament. PP Longstrings is a kind of an interesting hack to try to comprehend and understand legal texts by searching for the longest string. So what we do with PP Longstrings is basically we try to find out where they copy-paste between different legislative texts. And that can give you lots more insight and understanding to what they've actually tried to do. And yeah, well, if anyone has ever tried to read a directive, it's quite a challenge. So it's a tool to help. And it's very helpful both from the inside and outside the Parliament. So it just gets used a bit of everywhere. Then we have political memory, which is basically the internet never forgets. So the idea of, keeping track of how they work and how members of the Parliament vote, just for the sake of transparency. And the last piece here, it looks like a funnel. That's Tratten in Swedish. And Tratten has been a common name that we used for more projects, but right now it's primarily the T-mail or Tratten mail service. Right. Where's my timer? Oh, there, great. There's a tool called AT4AM in the Parliament, which is fairly new and developed for and by the Parliament to make amendments. And for those that don't know amendments, well, it's basically just patches of prepared law texts. So whenever they have a prepared text from the Commission or so, they amend it by saying we should swap this word or exchange that word. And this is a tool to make that lots easier, running web-based in a browser. And yeah, we've tried to make sure that this would be opened up with an open license, so others could use the same tool. And also have the idea of, well, basically, it's a very good idea. It's a very good tool that they have, and it would be good to have it outside the Parliament too. So actually writing it ourselves would be a very good approach, even if they open source their version. And yeah, AT4AM quite recently reached 100,000 amendments in the Parliament. I don't know over how long time, but quite a lot anyway. So I guess this you can see as kind of a beginning of a rationale to why we have the European Parliament Free Software User Group. Yeah, well, the EP should keep improving the quality of their data it makes available to the public, in particular with regards to time and data accuracy. The European Parliament should continue to ensure that data is made available in forms and through interfaces which enable free and easy access and processing of the data. The European Parliament should avoid investing in software and services which leads to lock-in of citizens and risk the institutions' vendors' independence, also with respect to social media. The EP should develop strategies for making its data available for all to use and reuse as per existing best practices for opening up of public sector data. And well, this can kind of be interpreted as, of course, the EP should, to the largest extent possible, use free software and open standards. At least that's kind of what I want to read into it. So let's see. Here we go. This is from last year and the start of the European Parliament Free Software User Group. So now we get. Yeah, there we go. Thanks. So this is kind of the goals of EPFSUG. I don't have to read them. You see the URL. So kind of the idea is, I mean, it's a user group. So we're both there to assist and promote and help to the largest extent we can. So this is kind of what the structure of EPFSUG is. As I said, I'm a supporter. That's because I'm not employed by the European Parliament, and I'm, of course, not a member of the European Parliament. So that means I'm a supporter. Currently, there's one patron, Indrek Tarand from Estonia, and I think there's 20 plus members. I'm not sure of the exact number right now. And that's people who work in the European Parliament and have their emails stored there. And yeah, there's quite a lot of supporters, and we need more supporters. So anyone who's interested in helping, you'll find us in the K building next to FSFE. So if you don't have time to talk to me here, you can find us there as well. So here's this little summary of what we've done so far. Right. So there's 10 members, sorry, and there's 24 supporters at the moment. And this is a summary of what the European Parliament Free Software User Group has done over the last year in the Parliament. And it's a few different projects. We had a side project next to the EU hackathon. It was the hackathon organized together with the Parliament and Google. We have invited different free software projects into the Parliament to talk. There are among them Freedom Box and Ubuntu, and yeah, some other things. So yeah, that's actually the amount I have for slides, and we have 4 minutes to go. So if anyone is curious or have any questions, then just pop up a hand. Yeah, okay, first one.
You mentioned social media. Is there any use of StatusNet or similar?
In the Parliament itself, not that I'm aware of, no. Of course, I mean, most use so far of social media, as I know, is privately by MEPs or staffers, and that is up to their own free choice. But it's still important when it comes to. I think if you go to later on, they will be more and more integrated. And yes, one point is, of course, that if public institutions want to microblog, they shouldn't only use Twitter. Yep. Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Can you speak up? Yeah.
If you have European parliamentarian who is a patron, does he or she has to do something, or is it just a kind of mental support?
Well, it's kind of he's kind of a protector. I mean, he says that this is a part that should be in the European Parliament, and it's important to have it inside that institution. But he's also free to take part of events and take part of the process. So that's up for patrons themselves to decide which level they devote. But yeah, the first and main point is protection, I'd say. Right? Okay.
It seems that the T-mail tool is mostly built to avoid using the current infrastructure and not so much at enlarging it or at improving it.
Yeah, well, for me, it's a first step. When you have people who realize that they can work better when they can integrate their normal email with their European Parliament mail, who can use emails on their laptop even if it doesn't run Windows, then that's a first start to change. If you go right now to the IT institutions and say, hey, you should change mail servers, you're not going to get very far. So yeah, it's very much a first step, and it's very much just a layer on top of the current infrastructure. But yeah, that's the best I have as an idea right now. And if we have better ones, then I'm very welcome to take them. Yeah?
Have you considered giving USB sticks with portable apps to MEP members so that they can run without installing free software?
Yes, we've considered it and we've looked at it.
Repeat the question.
Right. The question was if we've had the idea of giving out USB sticks with portable apps in the European Parliament. And yes, we've had the idea, and we're kind of still working on it and see what actually does work on the client machines. And yeah, it's a good idea, and I hope we can get there. Yep, up in the far top.
Yeah, a lot of the arguments we've heard here from an open source perspective, but basically, well, speaking to this crowd, which arguments would you have for members of the European Parliament and their assistants who aren't necessarily in the open source community? How would you convince them to start using open source?
Okay, it's over for me. But should I answer the last question?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the question was, I guess, arguments for people to use, for members and the staffers of the European Parliament to use free software. And as far as open standards go, which is most important, it's actually their work to be as open as possible. So you don't get there by using Microsoft Word. All right. That's all for me. Thanks.